So today we will discuss the what are the main common environmental metrics. The common environmental metrics are carbon footprint, energy consumption, water usage, waste generation, recycling rate, pollution emission, resource efficiency, biodiversity impacts, environmental compliance, sustainable sourcing, ca- carbon intensity, eco-efficiency, eco-labeling and certifications, sustainable transport, environmental impact of product and services, and land use, habitat preservation, and green building standards. So what is the carbon footprint? It measures the total greenhouse gas GHG emissions caused directly or indirectly by organization, activity, or product. It often expressed in CO2, carbon dioxide, equivalent to CO2e. Energy consumption. Next point is the definition of or explanation of energy consumption is that. So why we are using it? It tracked the amount of energy, electricity, gas, fuel, etc. used by organization. This can be measured in kilowatt hours, British thermal standards units, and other relevant units. Water usage, the measure the volume of water used in operations, processes, and activities, and the metric is usually recorded in liters or gallons. And the waste generation, waste generation monitor. What is waste generation? It's monitor the metric monitor the amount of waste produced by organization, including hazardous, non-hazardous, recyclable, and landfill bound waste, and metric landfill bound waste. Metrics may include the weight, kilogram, tons, or volume, cubic meter, etc. Recycling rate is the represent the percentage of waste that is recycled compared to total waste generated. It is calculated as recycling equals to amount recycled total waste produced into 100, divide by recording recycling rate, which is equals to the amount recycled and into the total waste produced, and divide by 100 recycling rate equals to total waste produced by amount recycled into 100. The pollution emission, the measure it measures the emission of pollutants. It measures the emission of pollutants, including air pollutions and CO2, NOx, and particulate matter, and water pollutants, example, chemical, oils, and soil contaminations. Resource efficiency. Resource efficiency assesses the amount of resource, example, raw material, energy, water, used per unit of product or services produced. Lower values indicate more efficient use of resources. Biodiversity impact, the measure the effect of organizations, activities, or local ecosystem or biodiversity. This can include monitoring endangered species, habitat destructions, and ecosystem health. Environmental compliance that track the number of regulatory violations, penalties, or indicates of non-compliance with the environmental laws and regulations. Sustainable sourcing that measures the percentage of material, products, or services sourced from sustainable or certified sources, example FSC, certified wood, organic products. Carbon intensity, the measures the amount of CO2 emissions per unit of production output and services provided. It's typically expressed as CO2 emission per unit of GDP or per unit of energy used. Pollution, pollution emission, pollution emission in a eco-efficiently eco-efficiency combines the environmental economic performance measuring the environmental impact relating to the economic output or profit. It can be expressed as a environmental impact per unit of revenue of profit. Eco-labeling and certifications measure the percentage of product or services that have received third party environmental certifications such as Energy Star, Green Seal, or Fair Trade certifications, etc. And sustainable transport that track the environmental impact of transportation, including emission, fuel consumption, and percentage of vehicle using alternative fuels or electric vehicles. And environmental impact of products and services measure the uh, total environmental impact across the life cycle of product or services, from raw material extraction to disposal, also known as the LCA, life cycle assessment of any product or any process, particular service or product. The next point is the land use and habitat preservation. Monitor the amount of land used by an organization for operations and measures effort to preserve or restore natural habitats. Green Building Standard assesses the sustainability of building or facility using environmental criteria like energy efficiency, waste reduction, waste conservation, and use of sustainable materials. Common certifications include LEED and BREEAM. So LEED stands for the Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, and BREEAM stands for the Building Research Establishment Environmental Assessment Method. So these are the common terms, common um, metrics which are the common for the environmental metrics, where we can uh, determine the all these metrics to determination of aspect impacts and all.